What do you do? What do you do when life feels really stressful? Maybe you're going through a time in your personal life, your relationships, or maybe it's the business and work front that has you stressed out right now. And you're finding it difficult to manage the daily conversation that you're having between your ears. And if that is you, I want to take a minute and just have a little chat. If we haven't had the pleasure of meeting, my name is Carrie Murphy. I am the CEO and founder of Inspired Living, a company who is so focused on really helping people plug into their zone of genius, to do the thing that lights them up from within, to live the most inspired life possible, to bridge the wealth gap with female entrepreneurship. And with all of that rose glasses, filters that we like to look at the world through, there are times when that rose colored filter turns gray. It doesn't matter, where you are in the world. It doesn't matter your age. Stress does not discriminate. And during these really wacky times in the world that we're experiencing over the last, 2, 3 years, there is moments where we question things that we are doing. We question relationships that we're in. We question our business models. Maybe you're questioning team and, why am I on the planet? What is the purpose of my life? And if that is you, I want to first start off by saying, you know what? You are not alone. You are not alone. So many people are feeling the feels. So many people are experiencing this shift of consciousness that, I think so many of us in the world are. And a lot of people are struggling with their business models and what was working in 2020 and 2021. Is it working in 2022? And, desires and a shift in mindset, all bring about what we create every day. What you think about, you bring about. But let's really dive deep into, like, how do you handle stress, a stressful time in your life? And, my 2 cents, I've done a lot of personal development, decades of personal development work. I have coaches and mentors. I invest in myself immensely. And I will say that one of the things I always think of is something my mom told me when I was a teenager, because I would be stressed out then too. And she would say, Carrie, this too shall pass. I just take a big deep breath there, right? This too shall pass. That everything in life is cyclical and seasonal. And maybe right now, the season feels hard. But I want to tell you something, that you have to go through the rough times to experience the growth, to experience the personal evolution, to attract things into your life that you dream of. When I look back at my life, I love the quote from Steve Jobs. He says, "You can't connect the dots in front of you. You can only connect them behind you." And OMG, can I connect some dots behind me? I look at all the challenging times of moving 7 times in 3 years, being a single mom, filing for bankruptcy and losing a company, like, all the things that we can sit here and go, why me? Why am I going through this? Why is life so hard? And yet, the perspective when you're on the other side of it is you realize it was just another stepping stone to your next greatest level of success. So, if you're in this place right now that feels hard, my advice for you is to feel the feels, to breathe, to learn meditation. I will say, when I quiet my mind, it's amazing what shows up. I live in a crazy house with 2 little kids and a growing business and a husband. And, it can feel sometimes like Groundhog's Day. I'm not going to lie. It can feel like there's just a lot and it's day after day after day. And I have to pause. I have to take big diaphragmatic breaths, use the Calm app. That is a great app that you can listen to first thing in the morning that just really brings down that stress hormone and starts breathing new life into your day. because how we start our day is very indicative to how we run our day. So if you jump out of bed and you're stressed out and you're chaotic and you're like running around, that's how the rest of your day is going to go. So really be mindful of how you start your day. Can you start your day doing something that is a personal give? Journaling, going for a walk, going for yoga, working out. Maybe it's just getting a really nice cup of coffee and sitting outside for a minute. Think about how different your day would be if you had that moment where you focused on you and what you were going to think about and bring about that day. So that's number one. You got to create space. Number two, I really encourage you to get out of your environment. Now, this doesn't mean you need to go take a luxury vacation, but it does mean that you need to get out of the confines of wherever you're in every day. Your environment is such a huge aspect of your energy. So if you don't love where you're hanging out every day, you got to change it. Like I love my office. And even though I love my office, I still need to get out. A change of perspective changes everything. Speaking of perspective, for my birthday, which was on Monday, my husband surprised me and took me on a helicopter trip with the LAPD, and we were on patrol. Talk about new perspective. I have never been in a helicopter before. And even though, thankfully, I'm not scared of heights, I am scared of getting a little queasy. And we were looking for a civilian on the ground, and the helicopter was kind of going sideways. And I was looking down for her. And the minute I got back up to level, all my levels were off. Like I was not feeling so good. But it reminded me of how when we change perspective, when we look at life from a different angle, how different it looks when I'm up in the sky looking at the Hollywood sign or looking at the ocean or looking at downtown LA. What doesn't seem very pretty when you're down on the street looks beautiful up in the sky. So I really encourage you to change your perspective. You might get a little queasy, and that's okay. You're just going to get back to your equilibrium, right? So take time for you, how you start your day, change your perspective, go out there, go hang out with new people, right? Join a new group, read a new book, get on a podcast episode that you love. By the way, if you haven't been listening to the Inspired Living TV podcast, you are missing out. The one with Kate Northrup I just did was so awesome. I also interviewed my girlfriend of over 25 years that has a multi 8-figure business, started out actually doing house cleaning on the side as a teenager and now runs an incredibly successful home decor brand, Jennifer Adams. So, what are you feeding your brain? Right? It's just as important as the food you put into your mouth is what you're feeding your mind. Okay. And then lastly, I want you to remember that more millionaires are created in a downturn economy than any other time on the planet. So, this is the time that you get to be adaptable, that you get to shift. That if something was working and it's not working anymore, don't beat yourself up about it. Even a relationship, let's make it personal. If something isn't working anymore, right? How can you adapt? How can you shift? Maybe how you show up in that space to create a different outcome. The only way I've been able to grow Inspired Living into a multi 7-figure business is through change, through not being so stuck on dates on the calendar or a specific vision, but knowing that as long as I'm clear on my mission, as long as I'm clear on my why, as long as I'm plugged into source, that what I will need will show up. And to me, when you live that way, you'll feel the stress, but you are connected. You're connected to God, you're connected to universe. And girl, let me tell you what, stress can come and go, but when you're plugged into source, you get to trust and know that you're provided for and know that you are perfect, whole, and complete just the way that you are. So I want to remind you of that today, that if you're going through a stressful time, breathe, take a moment for you in the beginning of every day, change your perspective, and be willing to adapt. Be willing to get out of guilt and shame, and I should have done this or I could have done this. Like those are just, the worst way of, personal sabotage is the guilt and the shame, because none of those things advance you. But if you are going through a challenging time, and I have been through many, that when you look back, you can say, wow, that was the next stepping stone to my greatest level of success. I always ask myself, who do I need to become to be the person that can make that big vision come to life. And we're all born with the same ability to create the life we dream of. And it is your destiny, your calling, that vision for your life is your compass. And there will be stressful times. But that's why it's so important to surround yourself with other luminaries, other leaders, other thought leaders that can really help you, because we're not meant to do it alone. And so if that is you, oh, thanks so much. I'm just reading through the comments. I appreciate you so much. If that is you, every year I host it's called the Brilliant event. It's taking place September 12th through the 14th. Priority tickets are actually on sale today. And it's an event for women entrepreneurs who really feel called to build something great, to be a thought leader, to be a light worker. You want to, make a huge impact on the planet. You want to serve at your greatest and highest good, but you also would love to make a seven-figure business, which, I always talk that 2%, ladies, right? That 2%. So every year the tickets in person sell out. It's in Redondo Beach on the marina. It is so gorgeous. Again, priority tickets went on sale if you registered for the priority mailing list, but we only can have 65 people in the room. And then we also have virtual tickets available as well. So if you want to stay home, but you want to really be in community and learn from other incredible women that have started at ground zero, have gone through so much stress and overcome so much adversity in their life, and yet have gone on to create 7 and 8 figure brands, this event is for you. It's not just inspiration, it's insight and it's intel on like what is working, what is not working, what are we thinking? How are we showing up? How are we thinking differently than everyone else in the world right now? Right? Because to get to the 2%, you can't act like the 98. Let me say that again, right? To get to the 2%, you can't act like the 98. So if you want to learn more about the Brilliant event, it's super easy. You can go to thebrilliantevent.com. Again, it sells out every single year. I can't wait to hug and to be in a room with other amazing women who really want to contribute and make the world a better place through the service and product that they provide. So if that's you, post it in the comments. That's me, Carrie. Brilliant. I'm in. And just again, a reminder for you that we all go through stressful times, right? It's the yin and yang. You can't have good without bad. You can't have dark without light. You can't have winter without summer unless you live in California, right? I mean, you have to go through the seasons. And if you're in a season right now of challenge, right? It's just a season. Who do you need to become? What do you need to learn? How is this happening for you instead of to you? And how can you take what you're going through to make better decisions, different decisions moving forward? I would love to hear from you if this resonated, and I hope it did, because I know the last 10 years working with thousands of clients over the world and just experiencing it myself. There are so many highs and lows in motherhood, in partnership, in entrepreneurship. And let me tell you what, nothing's more powerful than community. Nothing's more powerful than knowing you're not alone and you have tribe to support you. And that's really what inspired living is about, is building a community of luminary leaders that want to do good, be good, and have good. So if that's you, get to Brilliant this year. And if it's not you, all good. I hope this was helpful for you. I hope it, added a little inspiration to your week. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being with me today. I go live every Wednesday at 1 o'clock Pacific. So put it on your calendar, and I hope you will join me next week as well. My sisters are actually coming to town tomorrow from Oregon, so I get a belated sister birthday weekend, which I am so excited about. All right. Are we good? Faith over fear. That is right. Hello, Cassandra, Cindy. All right. Beautiful. Okay. thebrilliantevent.com. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Breathe. Go for a walk. Change your perspective. You've got this. See you next time.